Hello, thank you for joining me in this video. Today we'll be talking a little bit about smartphone photography. Can it even be a thing? Can you really get quality shots from a smartphone? Something that would be close to the full-size camera experience. You know, the big one that you're thinking about taking on your next trip, but you're thinking, maybe that's too big to fit in my case. Well, maybe this video will show you a few solutions. True, as language professionals, many of us like traveling, and we are closing up on the winter break or the summer break, depending where you live. So let's address a topic: smartphone lenses. The same way as when you use a full-size camera, you will have different objectives. Several manufacturers are now making add-on smartphone lenses, and they are used the same way as full-size camera lenses. You select the one you want depending on how you want to use it. Now, let's just think for a moment. What do you think of the quality of the video you're watching? Now, let's remember we're on YouTube, which alters the quality of the video. But would you believe if I told you that I was all the time on my selfie camera? And we know these are not very good. Would that be a fair statement? Would that be true? Well, let's have a look for a second. If I remove this objective, and now here we are. And that's the add-on I had on the camera. So that small lens improved a lot, my selfie camera. So let's talk about that a little bit. So the one we'll be looking at today is the Telephoto Lens 3. So that's the third model by Kase, which are a maker of lenses for full-size cameras, and they've been doing that for a while, and the general optics quality is very good. They also have all sorts of filters, so it's very high quality. And so you get a box like this when you purchase it, and you get two things that you see immediately, which are the lens itself with a protective cover that covers both sides where the glass is, along with a clip which will be used to connect to your camera. The clip is quite good, and I haven't seen it slip because of the way it's made. What's interesting about this system here is that the mount is not proprietary. So it is a threaded mount, and it will work with many mounts. So you will be able to use that lens on a variety of things. So if you open it on this side, then you see the connection. It tells you it's the telephoto lens, so you know what you're working with, and you just align it, screw it, and you're good to go. And once you're at that step, next thing you do is you grab your phone and you locate the main camera on your phone, and you just clip it on top, okay? And you will be good to go. Then you just take the cover off. And what I like to do is look straight inside the glass, and that allows me to know that I am fully aligned with the lens. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that here on the camera, but I have been able to align completely here the lens with the camera lens. So I should be good to go. And if I'm not moving it like crazy, I can't be riding a horse with that, but it's staying in place. Okay, so let's talk about a few aspects of the lens and do some comparison. First, if we look at the lens itself, it is no bigger than a skateboard wheel. So that is very portable indeed by design. And now we'll begin doing some comparisons, and I used two different smartphones so that we can compare. So first, using OnePlus 9, which is a 2021 smartphone, we can compare what we see on the left and on the right. So immediately, using the same smartphone, but adding the lens, we see that the colors get more natural, as you see on the right, and the detail seems more natural as well. It looks less pixelated. And adding the lens also improves some issues that you can have with some mobile phones. That's, for example, here in the fabric, you see it adds a weird rainbow effect, and this issue is not present when you are using the lens. So that is quite an improvement. So the interesting thing is that even if your smartphone is not the best, adding a lens will dramatically improve your shots. So that is good to know. Now, if we move to a smartphone which is better for photography, a Pixel 8 Pro, which rivals very well the iPhones. So if you have an iPhone, the result for you will probably be the same. So if we look on the left, the image is slightly less natural, and we get that over sharp, slightly pixelated effect with smartphones. But on the right, immediately we see that the image is far more natural. And when we get closer, we see that a lot more. So on the right, although the image is slightly softer using the lens, it is really natural. So if you have a nice picture that you want to make bigger and maybe print as a poster, well, you will have far better results using the lens. You can even take pictures for events and then print them, and you will get that. Also, if we look on the right, we see that the background, which is not very far, is already slightly more blurred, which is the normal expected effect. And on the left, we see that without the lens, the smartphone is trying to make everything be in focus and sharp, which is not exactly what you want depending on the type of pictures that you are taking. So even if we are using a very good smartphone for photography, the lens is adding extra benefits. And if we look at this other shot, now we see that in the background we have objects that are some far and some very far. And on the left, we see that the smartphone is trying to add blur, but on the right, the blur is completely natural. So you see that the subject is completely detached from the background, although being very sharp, and all that is natural. So you won't see strange effects around the subject, even if you zoom in, because this is all natural blur, which is called bokeh, I believe, in photography. So using a telephoto lens, a quality telephoto lens, like in this situation, what are the benefits that we can expect? Well, it is better for portraits. We've been testing that. Telephoto lens takes you closer to the subject. It adds naturalness, and you get that normal blur or bokeh effect. And if you take your pictures in low light, you get better results. You just look here at this picture, which I took of the moon. Normally something like that on a smartphone without a lens would be very bad. But now, because I'm using the lens in that picture, it still has some naturalness, and I've been able to add a slight bit more luminosity in post on that picture, but that has been improved. And as we said, if you take pictures of people, for example, or a specific object, and then you want to print it and get it bigger, if you're using a telephoto lens, this will dramatically improve your quality. So let's remember that all the pictures that have been taken in this video haven't been edited, except for this one in the background now, which has gotten a slight bit more exposure in post, but everything is as is. No photoshopping, no nothing. So before I show you more about the lenses and I show you more pictures, let's remember, if you want to use Kase lenses or other things that they have with my channel, you can get a 10% discount. So you will have the voucher in the video description. So if you want to get a lens for yourself, use that code. That will help you and that will help the channel. So let's now look at the Kase website for a second. So Kase makes filters, they make lenses for full-size cameras, and they make all sorts of accessories.
even tripods. But if you look at what they have for smartphones, now they have several things. You get here filters that you can add directly to your smartphone, so that will help you take pictures that have a special effect in them without using any computer, which will be very interesting. And you can get, of course, the lenses. So if you're interested in lenses, they have several types. So the one we've been looking at was the telephoto lens here, but they also have a macro lens if you want to take shots of the inside of a flower, or you want to take a picture of a bug or something like that. Well, that's the lens for you. You have the wide angle lens. Wide angle lenses are very good for sceneries, so that's a good lens to have. And you have the fisheye lens as well. And another lens which is amazing, I haven't tested it, I've tested another brand and I like the effect. It's the anamorphic lens, and that type of lenses will get you a cinematic effect. It will change the ratio of the picture and it will make your videos being very dramatic. So whatever you're doing, whether you're taking pictures or you're recording videos, think about that. It will probably take your photography to the next level. I'm sure you will enjoy that. And as I promised, now I will leave you with some pictures that I personally think are beautiful, which I took using the telephoto lens. And remember, I have not edited these pictures. They are just the same way as they were when I shot them. So let's discover them.